So I spend all day at work as a security guard at a bank thinking about the book I'm working on. My book title is now. Okay, here's what it is. I'm working on the title. Um, Here it is. I just kind of narrowed it down to this one. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, for Pete's sake. Here it is. It's the my dash book tab on docupletionforms.com. Here is the title. The current winner is Docuplation Forms, online question and answer forms that select and complete PDF documents. It's to the point. It's like nine words of a subtitle. I mean, if you take out the word that and online question answer forms select complete document. That's 7. And a 2-word title. That's 9. So, and then I have below it. It says working on the title. Current winner, the one I just said, and then it says those selected not to breed. 1. DocupletionForms.freaking.com. How to use conditional logic to rocket your automated PDF documents to the next level. Give your clients the information they need to make their own decisions. I love it, but it's not a starter. It's too long. Number 2, automatic law and business documents. Conditional logic contact forms that select and complete PDF documents. Your clients will have the information they need to make their own decisions by docupletionforms.com. Expert systems. The universality and concentricity of expert marketing, document, and law systems. That was actually the first title. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 words. Stuff like concentricity and universality. It's like too much. Okay, here's the next one, and this is totally ridiculous. Exactly. DocupletionForms.com. Exactly the questions you exactly need to ask. Exactly the answers that exactly indicate which documents exactly need to be exactly filled with exactly what information. Followed up by probably, like probably not. They say to put stupid crap in when you're brainstorming um, titles of a book. I'm going through this thing. Write, attract, convert. Monetize what you know with a book that attracts and pre-sells your ideal clients. So that's what I'm working on. Is all these little steps. Like I like the one I've picked. Here's the other one. Conditional logic. Using docupletionforms.com. Automatically select and complete documents with targeted questions based on previous questions coupled with help text to gather informed answers from clients to uphold UPL principles. All this stuff fits in there. Like, I want to reach out and grab the imagination of someone who wants to make sure they're not committing UPL by the way they use their contact form, or not even committing UPL, but confusing people into thinking that they're being given legal advice. That's one of the issues, is that it has to be a way of asking questions that has little bits of information so that people understand the significance of their answer choice each time. So it sort of says in the help text, like right below the question. So each question, depending on what way it's answered, indicates a different next question. So you don't have to tell someone exactly what the next question is going to be. You say, below is a list, and you have like a selection list, and boom, you click it and it drops down. And then say below is a selection list that indicates like one path or another path. The first 3 answers indicate one path, or in the second 3 answers indicate the other path. I mean, you can couple answers to questions together, so that in the help text you can say things like that. It doesn't have to be a perfect thing. You want to disclaim and say this questionnaire will lead you from question to question based on your answers to a path of selecting the documents and legal procedures that you indicate you need to complete and go through for your legal situation. This does not take the place of legal advice. It is you interacting with self-help software, like self-help legal software. Self-help software. Are you drinking? Are you drinking too much? How much less would you like to drink? Would you like to stop drinking? I don't drink. I don't drink. It's been 6 years. But self-help legal services, self-help legal software, and self-help books. Those are different things. Um, but yeah, so I have all this. Look, it's intelligent stuff, but yeah, you can get wrapped around the axle about titles and dumb things and like phrasing things the wrong way because you're phrasing questions and trying. You can break some question down into way too micro of subparts. But it's good. It's how you learn to be succinct and efficient about how you think about different legal document processes, how to learn things like small claims, um, enforcement of judgment is what I'm into, and there's a lot I've learned encoding things like writs of execution. That's one of the ones I've been working on recently. And then the documents themselves all have different metadata, and we are making more ways to check different checkboxes in the judicial council forms. So as I'm finishing this book, my software programmer, I've paid for the last big bulk of software work that we're doing before our launch. It's going to be a launch of enterprise billing, and we're going to reach out to colleges, paralegal programs, law schools, and graduate schools, and some high schools, maybe. Not maybe, we are going to reach out to some high schools, but it's mainly beyond high school, like junior college and stuff too, so that the college can sign up for $297 a month and then let all of their students use the program. They can use it as long as they want. I mean, the school can shut it down. We have a little bit of dollar amount for billing, for data use, and that's also so that the schools can see if there's one form that has like a lot of use, it'll pop up on their billing radar, and they'll see that someone is using it for trying to use it for business and not school learning. So at that point, they'll just say to the person that they're gonna transfer their account out to their own personal account, and so the person has to sign up to do that. Um, and we're going to do that in the back end for people because we want their basic subscription agreements to say that this is for learning purposes only, for you to learn different business and legal document processes, for asking questions with targeted help text and answers that signify different next questions and different outcomes. So for me, I got into it after paralegal training. I became a bonded and registered legal document assistant, and that's one of the big things is how to use legal software. There's other stuff out there. It's gotten better, but honestly, I was only ever to complete a full encoding of a document process with our software. There's things out there that people rave about, but at the same time, one, they were too expensive. Two, they wouldn't allow me to use things like Chicago Kent's A2J author and A2J interview. And I'm not sure if they're quite still around, but Chicago Kent has a big law and technology program at their law school. And they had this thing where they'd let paralegals, judges, and attorneys and law students use A2J author and A2J interview, but they wouldn't let me as a bonded and registered legal document assistant use their program. I was miffed about it. It actually is what's drove me on to begin the work on docuplication forms. This was 10 years ago when I finished paralegal training. And I then found Hot Docs. It was too expensive. It was like $800 at the time. It's a real decent program. People out there are going to like it. A lot of times we have to couple it with programs like drop form, so it's kind of a contact form and a data merge, and then so it's like probably like we'll run you like $70. Ours, we're going to keep our costs down to around $44 is where we're going to aim at when we get more security together. when we get to HIPAA compliance, maybe even before that. But right now it's $15. You can use it for $10, but it has our name at the top. It's $15 to remove our name for an individual subscription, and so it's price it's priced well. I use WebMerge. That was Jeremy Clark's program. He sold it to FormStack. That became FormStack Documents, and I never could figure out FormStack, and then I could never figure out how to like do an actual conditional logic selection of the documents that could be filled out, and then conditional logic data merging. I couldn't figure anything out. I had to make this thing, so I feel like mine is more simple and straight to the point. Um, as much into technology as I am as a professional, I needed a more simple program. I don't know. That's it. So I have these things going on in my thinking all day, and then I have to like do security guard stuff at a bank. And what happens at the bank is like behind the bank, there's this lady likes to sleep right next to the building, like 2 feet away on the sidewalk. There's bushes, so she can hide. And I always find crack paraphernalia or methamphetamine paraphernalia, and I have to like call a contractor to come and pick the stuff up. And then so like, but I still would like kind of let her sleep because she's really difficult of a person. She's this big fat moo cow, right? And she just like like this. She looks like the one lady from Dark Crystal, the movie we all watched as kids, like like the like, you don't know if she's like good or bad. She's like this witch. Well, so she started yelling right when she woke up, and I was like peeking around the corner. She was like, "I hate you, I hate you." Well, I figured out she was like on a text message with someone, and she starts yelling, and I don't know if she saw me peeking around the corner and started yelling this, but she was like, "I don't want to buy anymore. I'm done with this. I'm so sick of it." Like, I don't know if she thought I was a police officer and she's gonna make it sound like people were making her buy crack cocaine. It's rather absurd. So when she was leaving, I walked back there, and like right before she left the property, I said, "Ma'am, you can't come back here anymore and sleep here anymore. You're not welcome back on the property." Like, I just used not friendly language, not rude, but I made sure. And she got mad. She started yelling, "I can't hear you! I can't hear you!" I said, "Ma'am, you can't come. I can't hear you! No, 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 no!" Like, whatever. She got all mad. So the next day I come back, and there was a big dookie right where she normally sleeps. She showed me, so I called the other contractor, the dookie removal contractor. It's ridiculous. Your interest rates on your mortgage loans and your credit cards are sky high because of these crackhead dookie leaving homeless people. They waste everybody's time, energy, and money. I don't even tell the bank managers what's going on. Like, I'm supposed to guard the front door, but like a certain amount of the time I'm drawn right away from the door by homeless people taking dumps behind the bank. It is our client's property, and also it's a liability to have human feces and crack cocaine and methamphetamine paraphernalia. And then so yesterday, right before I was leaving, there was this kid on the scooter. I just wanted to leave to come back and work on my paralegal work and my technology work, right? Um, this kid's over. I'm like, "Wait, kid, what are you doing?" And then he like, I thought he was gonna whip it out and take a piss, so I like just like walked away from it. I walked back to the front door. I'm like, I'm not gonna deal with some kid pulling his junk out. Maybe he was only tightening his belt. 5 minutes later, I walked back and he was still just standing there. And I go, "Kid, you can't hang out back here." I didn't want to tell him why. I was like, "Kid, there's drugs back here." He'd be like, "Oh, really?" I'm just wondering if this lady is like selling drugs to or buying drugs from some kid who's like in the 7th grade. She thinks she's gonna get busted and gets mad and takes a big old dump. I don't want the kid to get in trouble. Whatever. Like, he left the property. He's like, "Oh, okay." And that was it. But It's just bad news how nasty homeless people garner a lot of sympathy, but they're really being assholes a lot of the time. Like there's still people who can be held responsible, and they try to play crazy, but you can see through like half of them, a little more than half. They're just being pieces of shit who want to use drugs. So, I mean, they're being real assholes, blaming everybody about everything. That's why they say in AA and Narcotics Anonymous, like, you're being a piece of shit to everybody. Stop being a piece of shit. We also are nice to people, like in our AA meeting, like, no, don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, you can't do things the same way, but like, don't continue to like feel wallow and be having been a jerk. Stop being a jerk. But they're not really very fun to deal with. So, but we don't say any of these things to them. We don't assert anything like blame to them. We just like walk towards them and be like, no, no, you can't do this. You can't be here. You gotta go. You can assert that they can't come back. It's just smelly, smelly bum lady.